We talk about Chicago as a city of neighborhoods, but when you're in the neighborhood Lakewood-Balmoral, it feels more like a village unto itself. The neighborhood was developed as an alternative to dirtier, denser neighborhoods south of here, starting in the 1890s. This house wasn't built until about 20 years on, during the arts and crafts era, when there was a lot of attention being paid to craft details. And you can see a lot of that here in the handrails, the beams, and these great windows over the door. And those were just an introduction to the windows you see inside. All the way through the house, we see this 1/3, 2/3 pattern with the divisions above and then the great pane of glass. Brings in a lot of light, has an arts and crafts look, and then it's in a bay of windows with a bench below, and check out the crazy radiators throughout the house. Here on the first floor, you've got an enormous amount of wood floors, built-ins, all this great detail like what I've been describing. It looks like it's very well preserved from its origins, but in fact, most of it had been very messed up, and it's all been brought back by these sellers in the last 14 years. A great example is this fireplace. It had been covered over with Lannon stone, probably the most inappropriate thing to put in a house like this. These sellers came, yanked it all out, and created something here that feels more suited to the era of the house. Something similar happened here in the dining room, where these great ceiling beams had been removed, but there were traces of them still, so they've been replaced. So what you get back is that feeling of being surrounded that the original room would have had, from the wood floors to the wood bench and the view out to the porch and the trees up to the beams overhead. And more work to the ceiling done here in a 1950s addition off the dining room and kitchen. There was a low flat ceiling hanging here, and what they've done is pop it up and create sort of a contemporary take on what you see in the dining room. We have the wood beams to complement what was there. So now what we've got is a really nice plan of flow from the formal living room through the dining room and kitchen into this informal family room. And then a real enhancement to the flow is here toward the yard. Some windows here were punched open to become doors, and you get this staircase down to a nice little courtyard. And here's the other refinement. The porch didn't have access to this part of the yard, so they brought down steps here. So what we end up with is a nice little court, a really secluded spot. We've got the garage there, the porch there, the family room here. We can flow in a circular way throughout the house, and it's all thanks to these two little staircases. Inside, the main stairs takes you up to the second and third floors. In this three-story house, it's worth noting that the top floor was not attic space. It was built as living space. The point there is that the details we've seen below reach all the way up. On the top floor, we still have those 1/3, 2/3 windows. We have great woodwork all around. The stairs do not diminish. They feel just as good going up as they did here. On the second and third floors, there are 5 bedrooms in all. There are 2 on that third floor, and then 2 family bedrooms on this side of the second floor. The master suite takes half of the second floor. It's got a great vintage feeling from the kind of woodwork we've seen elsewhere, those terrific windows, fireplace in the master suite, nice old wood floors, and these pocket doors that separate one space from another. This was built as a master suite. It was a 2-room suite with these pocket doors. So what you have now is the ability to have sitting and sleeping or any other combination you think of. So you've got this nice historical feeling, but you also have all the new things that we want in a master suite now. You've got a nice big bath, and you have 2 very large closets, one in either of these, both walk-in. Down in the basement, there's a ton of space as well. Storage space, a family room, a great laundry room, several different spaces that you can use in different ways. But as far as spaces go, I don't think there's anything better than this 40-foot front porch.